What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the PokeETF channel, where we combine Pokemon and data analytics together to keep track of our precious collection. And as 2024 is coming to a close, I thought of delving into my database and figure out which card is the top 10 most expensive cards of 2024 among the modern era. And these top 10 most expensive cards of 2024 is really a good snapshot of 2024 as a whole. 2024 was a great year for Pokemon. The Pokemon Company is hot with their release and making so much money, and the demand is high, and supply just cannot meet the demand. But with that said, before we do that, if you like what I do, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date of the most up-to-date videos, and feel free to comment how 2024 treated you with your Pokemon collecting and investing journey. And with that, let's begin. And so this is the most expensive Pokemon cards of 2024 of the modern era. We have our vintage era or WOTC era, but we also have our modern era. And what comprise of the modern Pokemon era? Obviously, Gen 9 Scarlet and Violet sets, Gen 8 Sword and Shield sets, Gen 7 Sun and Moon sets, Gen 6 XY sets, and this is where people may include or exclude, but the Gen 5 Black and White set. And so let's start with the top 10 most expensive card, which is the Charizard GX Secret card from the Burning Shadow set of the Sun and Moon era. As of today, December 16, it is $439. In 2024, it grew $69. That's representing 19%. Looking at the graph, it has a very healthy upward trend. It started around $358 around January 1st, and again, as I said, it is around $435 at the end of this year. Then the top 9 most expensive card is a Giratina V alternate full art from the Lost Origin set. It is now $459. It grew $221 this year, representing a 93% increase. Blue, it is a Sword and Shield card from the Evolving Sky set. Looking at the graph, it started around $238 the beginning of this year, and you can see around summer 2024 it shot up to around $481, then come crashing, or not really crashing, but went down to around $335 around September 2024, and slowly getting to its high of $480. Then the top 8 expensive card is your Charizard GX from the Hidden Fate set, again, Sun and Moon era. It is now $460. It grew $76 in 2024, representing a 20% increase. And looking at the graph, very similar to the 10th most expensive card, the Charizard GX from the Burning Shadow. This is the Charizard GX Shiny Hollow Rare from the Hidden Fates special set. It was around $380, $370 starting this year, and it is reaching to $460 at the end of this year. The next, your top 7 most expensive card is the Pikachu EX, a Scarlet and Violet card, a Pikachu EX from the Surging Spark set. It is now $463, $464. It grew $60 this year, but again, it was released around November 2024, but this card is one of the top 10 most expensive card of the modern era. It grew 15%, very impressive for a Scarlet and Violet era. But then again, the pull rate is really harsh in Surging Spark. Looking at the graph, it started around $400 and it shot up to around almost $600, but then it's a little flat throughout the rest of December 2024. Then your top 6 most expensive card is your Gengar VMAX alternate art from the Fusion Strike Sword and Shield set. Beautiful card, a lot of Gengar collectors. It was $468. Now it grew $250 this year, representing a 115% price increase. Really impressive. Looking at the graph, very similar to every other alternate art. It grew crazy in summer 2024, then it went down, but then now it even beat its all-time high of summer 2024 and now around $470. Then your top 5 most expensive card is your Rayquaza VMAX, again from the Evolving Sky. It is $489 currently. It grew $241, representing a 97% price increase of 2024 Sword and Shield card, Evolving Sky card, alternate art card. Looking at the graph, again, very similar. If you've been following my other videos of alternate art, it is a very similar price trend. It was around $240 the beginning of this year, went up crazy to around $550 summer of 2024, and went back down in fall 2024 and slowly reaching back to its all-time high. Then we have our Lily full art from the Ultra Prism. This is your iconic full art trainer, the most expensive full art trainer in the Sun and Moon set of Ultra Prism. It is $493. It grew $33, representing a 7% increase. And you can see it was around $457 and it went down to around $380, and now it's even beating its all-time high of starting this year, so it's around $500. Then next, your third most expensive card from the black and white era, Charizard from the Plasma Storm. It is $650. It grew $41 this year, representing a 7% price increase. Looking at the graph, again, this is why the older era you go, it's not a lot of volume. It stayed around $600 for the biggest time. You can see that it was around $270, and this is why TCG Player is not a good source for vintage cards, because not a lot of people sell vintage cards on TCG Player. You need a lot of volume, and where you get that a lot of volume data is from eBay, and so I really suggest buying vintage cards on eBay or selling cards on eBay. So TCG Player is not really a good source of older cards, but it's still good to look at. So you can see it's just flat because the volume of buying and selling is really low. Then next is your top second most expensive card is of course the Latios GX card. A beautiful card from the Team Up set tag team card. It is now $1,000. Grew $314 this year, representing a 42% increase. Looking at the graph, it was around $730 beginning this year. Again, grew $300 this year. An iconic tag team card from the Sun and Moon era. This is very similar to the Umbreon VMAX that is iconic to the Sword and Shield era. And speaking of Umbreon VMAX, it is your most expensive card of the modern era. This is not surprising. Everyone knows this. This is like the Charizard card of the vintage era. The Umbreon VMAX is the most expensive and iconic of all modern era cards and set. Umbreon VMAX alternate art from the Evolving Skies. It is now $1,380. Grew $841, representing an 156% price increase. So crazy. Looking at the graph, it used to be around $500. Grew around almost $1,000 and slowly went down, but then it just skyrocketed to $1,400. And so again, this is really the Charizard first edition card of the vintage era. I mean, Charizard first edition is like $10,000, $5,000, but this is like could be the Charizard first edition card of the modern era. And so there you have it, the top 10 most expensive Pokemon cards of the modern era. 4 are from Sword and Shield era, 4 from the Sun and Moon era, 1 from the Scarlet and Violet era, 1 from the Black and White era, and 0 from the XY era. And these 10 are really a good snapshot of what 2024 was like for the Pokemon TCG as a whole. And so there you have it. Again, hope 2024 treated you well, just like me. Again, looking forward for 2025. 2025 will be a crazy year. I don't need to explain it. If you've been following Pokemon, you know what I'm talking about. And so if you like this content, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so that you are most up to date on the most recent videos, especially in 2025. I'll be covering a lot of different kind of videos, and comment below on what you think. And so with that, go forth and collect them all.